Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, text 55. Okay, part of the purport was to explain. Okay. Last. Salilai suchibir malye vanyer moola phaladivi shashtankuram shukescharche tulasya priya prabhum. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers and vegetables which are available in the forest, or by collecting newly grown grasses, small buds of flowers, or even the skins of trees, and if possible, by offering tulsi leaves, which are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. It is specifically mentioned herein that tulsi leaves are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotee should take particular care to have tulsi leaves in every temple and center of worship. The Western countries, while engaged in propagating the Krishna consciousness movement, we were brought great unhappiness because we could not find tulsi leaves. We are very much obliged, therefore, to our disciple Srimati Govinda Dasi, because she has taken much care to grow tulsi plants from the seeds, and she has been successful by the grace of Krishna. Now, tulsi plants are growing in almost every center of our movement. Tulsi leaves are very important in the method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the word Salilai means by the water. Of course, Dhruva Maharaj was worshipping on the bank of Yamuna. The Yamuna and Ganges are sacred, and sometimes devotees in India insist that the deity must be worshipped with the water of Ganges or Yamuna. But here we understand Deshakala to mean according to time and country. In Western countries, there is no river Yamuna or Ganges. Water from such sacred rivers is not available. Does this mean that the Archa worship should for that reason be stopped? No. Salilai refers to any water, whatever is available, but it must be clear and collected purely. That water can be used. The other paraphernalia such as flower garlands, fruits and flowers should be collected according to the country and according to their availability. Tulsi leaves are very important for satisfying the Lord, so as far as possible an arrangement should be made for growing tulsi leaves. Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship the Lord with the fruits and flowers available in the forest. In the Bhagavad Gita frankly says, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna frankly says that he accepts vegetables, fruits, flowers, etc. One should not offer Lord Vasudeva anything other than what is prescribed herein by the great authority Narada Muni. One cannot offer to the deity according to one's whims, since these fruits and vegetables are available anywhere in the universe, and we should observe this small point very attentively. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So now Narada Muni explains to Dhruva Maharaj what all should be offered to the transcendental form of the Lord, to the deity of the Lord, as a form of worship. Pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers, vegetables, buds, skins of trees, tulsi leaves, which are very dear to Supreme Lord. First, we should note that how for the Supreme Lord there is nothing material. For entire creation is coming out of Him, and what comes out of the absolute truth is also absolute truth. even the material energy. The various forms that the material energy takes in the course of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. It's an eternal cycle, and these energies are eternal. They're all serving the Lord according to His own chief energies, external energy, internal energy of the Lord. These variegatedness are created, and the Lord accepts that. The Supreme Absolute Lord is satisfied with pure water, flower garlands, fruits. The Lord is completely transcendental. When He is transcendental, how He can accept these material things, or how material things will interest Him? That is it simply it's only bhavana, or actually He accepts this? No doubt, the first aspect is the devotion of the devotee, bhavana, bhavagrahi janardana. The Lord consumes our devotion. But these ingredients, also the Lord's energy, and the Lord is doing a favor to these energies also by taking service from them. So it is not that the Lord does not, you offer food to the Lord. It is not that He doesn't eat. He eats. As Prabhupada says, He eats. But it has to be prepared purely. It has to be purified. The ingredients have to be purified. So there are prescriptions of how to make this material energy, bring the material energy to a pure state. The material energy can function in impure state and pure state. Whereas the internal energy always functions never get contaminated by the three modes. Material energy can contaminated by the three modes, means functioning. It can function to cover Krishna. So when the material energy is purified by certain processes, material energy is also Krishna. Just like the deity is Krishna. Just like Shakti Avaisha Nama, the Nama that we utter with our material tongue, also become Purna Shuddha. It is Purna Shuddha. It is completely pure. Of course, in the case of Nama, the purity of the advantage is that Nama is Purna Shuddha. And that Purna Shuddhata of the Nama brings Shuddhata to our tongue. The other way around. By associating with the Nama, we become pure. So ultimately, even the material body, when it is engaged in Krishna's service, it is spiritual. Just like when we offer devotion service to the Lord with our material body, and if we become completely free from sense gratification and be free from the desire for sense gratification and engage our body exclusively for the pleasure of Krishna, this yantra, disidentifying this yantra as myself and engaging this yantra purely in service of the Lord, body is spiritual. It is free from three modes of material nature. Contaminated by three modes of material nature means different three kinds of covering of our pure consciousness. Intrinsically, everything is spiritual. So, we as a Vaishnavas, we recognize that with the service of the Lord, wherever we get the service of the Lord, it's all absolute. Material world is also absolute. The names, forms, everything may change. And Lord is observing this. Lord is, just like Krishna came 5,000 years back when he appeared in this world. He saw the world that way we see the world. It's not that this is, because he is Param Satya. He didn't see illusion. He saw illusion in Arjuna's mind. So Krishna, the supreme absolute truth, is saying all these people are arrayed in the battlefield, everything. He very much lived in this world, in this earth, because they are all real. They're temporary, but they are real energies. It's all real Shakti of the Lord. Absolute truth, Param Satya means Krishna with all his energies. That is the opulence of the Supreme Lord. There's no meaning in a person without energies to serve him. So Krishna with his unlimited energy. So in the material world, there is a great chance to worship the Lord with material paraphernalia. Like this. So we offer food, we offer everything, but there is a regulation how to do it. And actually Krishna takes it, consumes it. And we get prasadam. That is why the food that we offer, whether it is flour, fruit, whatever it is, it's not ordinary food. It becomes completely spiritualized. And then when we consume that, it has an impact on our bodily cells. And our bodily cells become purified. When we continuously take prasadam and our bodily cells get purified, the urges of the body all decrease by consuming prasadam. And then we'll be able to execute our devotional service with greater ease. We'll be able to control our senses with greater ease. So, anyway, now coming to this purport here, Prabhupada says, Prabhupada is dwelling on Tulsi Maharani. It is specifically mentioned herein that Tulsi leaves are very dear to the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada explains how in all his centers he has made arrangement for Tulsi to be worshipped, Tulsi leaves to be available, and how initially when he went to the Western world, he had no Tulsi and it was a matter of great unhappiness to him. And then in Bhaktivedanta purport, he is mentioning Srimati Govinda Dasi. But these are all transcendental leelas. So because she has taken so much care to grow Tulsi plants from the seeds, it's a big thing because it won't grow in the Western countries. You have to have different, kinds of poly house and all kinds of extreme weathers to prevent. All these things have to be done. And then it's successful. Today all the temples are having Tulsi Maharani in the Western world. And she has been successful for the grace of Krishna. Now Tulsi plants are growing in almost every center of our movement. So Tulsi is very important for the worship of the Supreme Lord. Tulsi Maharani is eternally a gopi in the spiritual world, in the Golok of Vrindavan, and how she came down and incarnated as Tulsi plant that is given in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. It's a long story. So, but Tulsi is manifest on this earth in the form of Tulsi plant. And Krishna or Vishnu does not accept anything without the Tulsi leaves. And part of that Leela of Tulsi Maharani descending on this earth, and when she quit her body in this earth and went back to the Leela of the gopis, that time it is said that the Gandaki river, where you get shalagrams, that her body became the Gandaki river, and the Lord Narayana, in the material world, when the Leela was happening, in the Leela happened, Lord Narayana married her. That was her desire, to marry Lord Narayana. So then Lord Narayana said, I will also eternally reside there in the form of Shalagram. These are in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So she's there on this earth as Gandaki river. She's here on this earth as Tulsi plant. So growing Tulsi plant, cultivating very carefully a Tulsi garden is all very pleasing to Vishnu. Very pleasing to Vishnu. And we also know the significance how Haridas Thakur, when he built a hut to do his japa, he planted a Tulsi, and then in front of Tulsi he chanted. Narada Rishi also, when he instructed the hunter Mrigari to chant, he said, you plant on Tulsi and chant. So chanting before Tulsi Maharani is very powerful. Tulsi Maharani ki jai. So here, that is why we chant Bhagavatam. It's very, very, very auspicious to chant Bhagavatam. That is why during class we have Tulsi Maharani. And doing Tulsi Maharani seva of circumambulating every day, pouring water, one should not miss that. Sometimes we see it is a very, because it's part of our daily routine, then we tend to forget it. Because here the environment is there. When you do sadhana, anyway, daily it's happening. But when say you go out station or somewhere, you miss out this anga of bhakti, worshipping Tulsi Maharani. Just like many, we don't realize the importance of prasadam, because every day we are getting. Similarly, we don't realize the importance of Tulsi Maharani. But these are two very, 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 very powerful things. If these two things are there, if these two activities are not there, one cannot develop one's Krishna consciousness. So blessings of Tulsi Maharani is very much Prabhupada has made part of our program. And her bhakti, her glories, we need to appreciate. So we leave this purport here. And one should not offer Lord Vasudeva anything other than that which is prescribed. We cannot offer to the deity according to one's whims. Whenever we are worshipping the deity, we have to be extremely careful that we cannot simply concoct anything, whatever it may be, whether it is offering foodstuffs or whether it is offering different alankaras, different deities' form. We have to be extremely careful that it should not be, it should be authorized rather than some mental concoction of different forms which will displease the deities. So anything connected to the deity, when we introduce something new, we have to be extremely careful. We cannot play whatever comes in our mind. Dressing or introducing kavachas, means how you cover the deities. All these things are very important. So anyway, last time purport I did not complete. It was a long purport. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that his name should be heard in every nook and corner of the world. How is it possible unless one preaches everywhere? The cult of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavat Dharma, and he especially recommends Krishna Katha, or the cult of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He recommends that every Indian, considering this task to be para upakara, or the world welfare activity, take the Lord's message to other residents of the world. Other residents of the world does not refer to only those who are exactly like Indian Brahmana Kshatriyas or like caste Brahmanas, who claim to be Brahmanas because they were born in the families of Brahmanas. The principle that only Indians and Hindus should be brought into Vaishnava cult is a mistaken idea. There should be propaganda to bring everyone to Vaishnava cult. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant for this purpose. There is no bar to propagating Krishna consciousness movement even among people who are born in Chandala, Mlecha or Yavana families. Even in India, this point has been enunciated by Srila Sanatana Goswami in his book Hari Bhakti Vilasa, which is Smriti and is the authorized Vedic guide for Vaishnavas in their daily behavior. Sanatana Goswami says that a bell metal can turn to gold when mixed with mercury in a chemical process. So by the bona fide Diksha or the initiation method, anyone can become a Vaishnava. One should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master coming in disciplic succession, who is authorized by his predecessor spiritual master. This is called Diksha Vidhana. Lord Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita, Vipashritya, one should accept a spiritual master. By this process, the entire world can be converted to Krishna consciousness. So, Hari Bhakti Vilas is our text. The Gaudiya Vaishnava's text, Smriti, which describes all the different details of puja, all these things, how to worship the deities, what are the offenses towards the deities, how to be careful, etc. All the details are given there. What are the different achar, how the Vaishnava should care for his body, how he should decorate his body with tilak, how he should bathe, how many times, what. All those things are given in Hari Bhakti Vilas. It is not only philosophy that is given by the Goswamis. Sanatana Goswami's specialization was to put down daily activities, what they should do, what they should not do. It is not that, like when we see so much of deity worship that we do, sometimes people think that No, it is only all, we are only borrowed everything from Sri Sampradaya. But we have enhanced, and we have, because many of the things Sanatana Goswami has studied everything, Pancharatrika Vidhi, everything, and then he has given what should be in our parampara. And according to that, various, even all other things are given, all the achar, what happens, how many days Suchi, this, that, all those things, if somebody passes away, and that. It's all also all connected. But over and above all that, the stress is given on chanting the holy names of the Lord without diluting that faith. These rules and regulations also we have to follow. So we are having a corpus of knowledge, transcendental knowledge, applications of that in our daily life. And many of these things have come from Hari Bhakti Vilas, in our parampara. What as a devotees we should do, what is our daily activity, everything. Now Prabhupada is explaining about how people criticized him for introducing deity worship, criticized him for accepting disciples in the Western world. And Prabhupada is explaining here that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he recommended that his name be sung all over the world, that people should get Harinam all over the world. And everybody born in this Bharata Bhumi should become a guru for the rest of the world. Ultimately, Krishna consciousness movement is going to flourish in this particular way. Many of these things we cannot conceive. Materially, you cannot conceive how his name will be sung in every town and village. Because whenever we try to think how it will happen, we try to extrapolate with our limited intelligence. We do not know what all will happen to this world all of a sudden, how world will change. But this prediction will be fulfilled. There's no doubt about it. We are only at the starting of the golden age within Kali Yuga. Okay. So one should have that faith that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction, every town and village will come true. Already it has come true by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, but it will come true to the word. To the word. It has gone all over the world now. To the word, if it has not gone to deep villages. But what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction? Every town and village. So it will happen. So it's a great excitement for us to take part in Lord Chaitanya's movement. And there's no need to rush to go back to God at next 10,000 years. So much work is there. Exciting work, isn't it? Huh? For us, Krishna is always protecting. Krishna is always providing. We are only his servants. When this prediction is there, we should seek eternal service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What can I do? So we should purify ourselves. When we purify ourselves, then we'll get, we'll be born again next generation. 2050, 2060. That time also we'll be there, preachers. Huh? So what all we have done will be eternal benefit to us. We'll be less fallen. Life after life will be less fallen. Because these are all eternal. We're touching the holy name of the Lord. We are getting purified. The same purpose you will read in another body. Now in this body you are reading. In another body you will read the same purpose, because these books will remain. So that way, devotees, they don't bother about death and all. It's not a big thing. Because the devotee is in the hands of Prabhupada, hands of Guru and Krishna. How they want to be, how the Lord wants to use me, that is left to the Lord. And the Lord surrendering to Guru means we are given ourselves to spiritual master, and spiritual master has offered us to Krishna. We should offer ourselves to be enjoyed by Prabhupada for their purposes, enjoyed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, enjoyed by Krishna. So we don't see, passing away of Vaishnavas in a material way. We see it as continuation of devotional service. Any questions? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.